Are there such things as demonic portals? Do we open up doors when we watch certain things or listen to certain things? Let's talk about it. What's going on, Biblically Constructed fam? Hope you and your family are blessed. I know there's a lot of buzz around this movie called Sinner starring Michael B. Jordan. And I'm going to give you some very important information about this movie at the end of this, so stick around. Now, there have been a few Christians who watched it. They came out, they gave their review of it. And what I've seen is kind of split right down the middle. Some say stay away, it's demonic, you don't want to watch it. Others say it actually gives you a picture of spiritual warfare. It's not as bad as some say. Well, what I want to do is take a broader look, a broader spectrum of this topic, because you will hear people say you are opening portals or doors when you watch certain things. I've heard that from Disney movies like Little Mermaid all the way down to horror movies. So what we want to do today is take a biblical look at this. We want to look at this from a biblical perspective to see if you are actually opening up these portals or doors. The first thing we need to talk about is conviction. People will have different levels of conviction. For example, some of my Christian friends have no problem watching certain TV shows and TV series that have a high level of sexual activity. No problem. They'll watch it. You guys remember when everyone was talking about Game of Thrones, everybody. So I looked it up. And it's known for having a lot of intense sex scenes. Well, that right there told me this probably wouldn't be a show for me. And I haven't seen one episode. But I have Christian friends who rant and rave about it. Had no problem watching it. So you will have people who have different levels of conviction. Something that convicts me won't convict them, and vice versa. But I would advise, don't ignore that feeling of conviction. In fact, embrace it. The next thing is society has seared our conscience. It has made us numb to a lot of things that we used to see on TV and cringe. Think about this. When Elvis Presley used to perform on TV, they wouldn't show him waist down because of him gyrating his hips. It was inappropriate. But today, what don't you see on some of these music videos, on some of these social media posts? They show all kinds of things. And if you see something enough, you hear it enough, you're around it enough, it won't be long before it becomes kind of normal to you. You become numb to it, desensitized to it. Well, all that means is your conscience has been seared. To be honest, all of us Christians have had our conscience seared by society to one degree or another. Now, it may be in different areas, but we all have. Why? Society has a knack of pushing their agenda hard. They'll keep pushing. Sometimes they call it breaking down barriers. For example, some Christians used to see two men holding hands walking down the street and feel disgusted. But over time, because of social media, commercials, movies, a shift in societal norms, now some of those same Christians see it and they don't even give a second thought to it. So yes, there's a level of searing that has taken place in all of us on different levels and on different things. It's important, however, that we never ever lose a standard of holiness. Next thing we need to know is we are in a spiritual battle. Ephesians 6:12. For our struggle is not against flesh and blood, but against the rulers, against the authorities, against the cosmic powers of the darkness, against evil spiritual forces in the heavens. So we know there is a battle, a fierce battle for the souls of men. A lot of times this battle is won and lost by influence. What has the stronger influence on one's life? Now we believe God draws us unto him. That's the only reason we are saved. But that doesn't mean the devil won't try to influence you or to get you to sin. Now, the old saying that the devil made me do it, it's not true at all. He does try to influence. He presents opportunity to sin. And we see this several times play out in scripture. Cain and Abel, Adam and Eve, David and Bathsheba, even Jesus in the wilderness. The devil tried to influence. He presented opportunities. So when you watch something sexually explicit, these movies and stuff, and depending on the storyline and stuff like that, can someone be persuaded, influenced? Let's say you are struggling with same-sex attraction and you see a movie with two men engaged in a sexual activity. Maybe you're battling to stay clean and you watch a movie about people partying and getting high and using drugs. Influence, an opportunity, just a spark, just a little nudge in the wrong direction, just enough to get you thinking. It's enough sometimes for people to strongly consider doing something they shouldn't do. Look at what scripture tells us. Proverbs 4:23. Above all else, guard your heart, for everything you do flows from it. How do you guard your heart? Well, by praying, fasting, but also exposure. Be protecting yourself from exposing yourself from certain things, influencing you. You have to watch out for those things. You ever hear someone who was bad off and was doing good, then was bad off again? Many times they will say, how did I get here? How did I end up back here? Influence. Sometimes just a little nudge. Now, opening portals and doors, we don't see that exact terminology biblically, but Ephesians 4:27 tells us not to give room to the devil. Now, contrary to what the demon slayers say, that this means some sort of demonic possession or generational curse. No, it does not mean that. It does not mean that. It means don't give him an opportunity to influence you to sin. So that might mean I can't watch that movie, or I can't go to that party, or I can't call him or her. You eliminate the opportunity. You will eliminate the room for the devil to inject temptation into your life. I remember we were taught not to receive gifts from overseas, like statues or rocks, trinkets, because there could be some type of demonic presence or force on it and you bring it into your home. Well, again, if you feel that to be true, if you feel the conviction, just don't bring it into your home. So as far as opening doors, again, we don't see it biblically in reference to how people use it today in some of the more charismatic circles. We see the Lord open a door to preach Christ's gospel in 2 Corinthians 2:12. We see Acts 14 that God opened up the door of faith to the Gentiles. We see Jesus is the door. We don't see these spiritual doors or demonic portals explicitly. Could there be? Maybe. I mean, we see Jacob's ladder in, I think, Genesis 27 or 28. The fact of the matter is there is spiritual warfare, and how to fight against it is the more important part. Put on the full armor of God. Resist the devil and he will flee. Remember, greater is he that is in me than he that is in the world. We don't have to worry, but we can always practice precaution. You do this, then it really doesn't matter if there's a portal or not. You are always prepared for the attack. But if you feel conviction about a place, about a movie, certain music, certain people or things, don't ignore it. Take the precautions you see fit. Now, in regards to this movie, Sinners, I did a quick review of it. They actually had consultation from people who did voodoo, because I guess this movie has some type of voodoo aspect to it. So they did some consultation from people who, I don't know if they practice voodoo, but they knew about voodoo, how it works, how it operates. So they had them kind of consult them while they were doing this movie. There was a D'Angelo, the R&B artist back in the day. He had a album called Voodoo. I remember having that album. Now it's allegedly he had a live voodoo ceremony performed on his album, and that was geared towards getting I think it was Christian women to buy his album, something of that nature. How do we know? Well, remember when you used to open up a CD and they used to have the cover and you could open it up and read and see pictures and stuff? He had the pictures of the voodoo ceremony. So we are fighting against darkness. We are fighting against demonic forces. And so I can't tell you whether to stay away, whether to watch it. I'm not going to do that. I think I kind of laid it out pretty well in this video. You got to make your own decision when it comes to stuff like this. Again, if you're having the conviction, if it's bothering you, if it's rubbing you the wrong way, I would suggest don't ignore that feeling. Don't push it off. Actually embrace that. But again, you'll have people who are Christians who it doesn't bother them at all. So again, people have different levels of conviction. Certain things will bother people. Certain things won't. Again, listen to those convictions. I believe conviction comes from the Lord. Now, if you feel this video has blessed you, feel free to subscribe or watch the video that's about to pop up here in the corner in a moment. But guys, as always, be bold, be blessed, but most importantly, be biblically constructed. God bless.